Okay. There we go. That's weird. The mic just randomly decided to not be connected right now. So I just it should be working again. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So I've got a list of everybody that's submitted last time. Hey Javo, submit a Bryn team, man. Am I gonna be salty today? I can't. I guess I shouldn't be salty. But God, do I want Bryn? Hey Notch. The webcam is out of focus, actually. Why the heck is it out of focus? How do I make it focus? Hey, you. Oh, there we go. Densetsu, the answer is nobody knows what the anniversary is going to ask of us. So I could say save gems, but quite honestly, gems may not get you anything. A Bryn fight that was down to the wire? Alright, let's go take a look. It would be his third team, I guess. What? Hi, Cade. And there is no Bryn on this. Notch, you should rush T4s. It wasn't his? Oh, okay. Who else has a Bryn? Hungwell has one. She is the first team. It makes no sense to have a full team of T4s when... or to have a full team of 10 stars. Wait, what the heck? The whole team just melted, so it's not this one. How about this one? Hi, Arsha. Okay, this team could annoy it. Jeez, when Bale does that, it's so scary. Oh, okay. Alright, alright. Wow. Hi, Charbel. Hydrogenus. And Bryn still did 8 million damage. Good God. Hi, Kitty. Perun lost, by the way. Hi, Mikaro. Perun lost this fight. Hi, Senpai. So he had two... No, wait. This is not the team I thought it was. Okay. Top 3 best healer? There is literally only one, and it is Vivienne. Nobody else comes close. I would not want to fight this team. Veg and 3 Freyas. I do not want to fight that team. And the funny thing is, you bet that it loses quite a bit, but it also wins quite a bit. My God, he has so many energies. How did he lose? He lost to Jax right here. Skuld is not a healer. Skuld is a terrible healer. So here we have how he lost. So Perun loses this battle. Is anyone weakened? No one's weakened, and he's only removed bubble on one Freya. And he's dead. He froze everybody and it wasn't enough and he died. So this is how Freya's fall. Like a solid Vivienne. A solid Vivienne team outlasted him. Alright, shall we start? Alright, so we'll start with this team. I don't need this picture. Where did my thing go? There we go. I lost my bracket round 1. I got stuck in a mirror match and I got knocked out. So, oh well, it happens. I'll be back in 4 weeks. Healing is not the answer. Just get Vivienne. Vivienne is so easy to get. She's so easy to get. If you really, really want a healer and you're not looking for Vivienne, you're not playing the game right. Let's just say that. Alright, so this is Young Tsak. Okay, he's making Valk next T4. You just food... Wow. You're that guy that takes his food, throws it away, and wonders why he's hungry. Okay, well. This is a... With Valk as the next 8, or next T4, I'll give this team an 8. I think it's fine. But your role here is... Your point here is to go for damage next. So... Kurt, Bryn, Bale, Themis... Like, you can ask what your direction is, but this is not the kind of thing that I can answer without knowing what you have in your inventory. So I really... Aside from telling you you need the big damage. Shiv, it kind of tells you right here and down here. So... Yeah, you're looking to get a damage hero next. You could use some sustain if you want to keep... Aegina, so Vivienne's a good choice too. So a damage hero or Vivienne. Or Veg. Veg is a good one. I feel like this is the problem. People expect you to just list off all the best heroes for them when that's not useful to know. It's if I just give you a list of 30 heroes and say, here, make one of these. Yeah, Shiv, you're in the wrong channel. You're not in the YT Team Critique channel. You're trying to post in general, and that is not the right place. So we'll give this an 8 and say... build damage. Why? What is this? Alright, Jesus. Alright, so Zach, 9.5, next. We're just gonna skip that. I don't even know why you submitted that team. I'm not even gonna bother with that, so that's all he gets. There was literally no point in submitting that team. Okay, Mikiro gets Actually, if Bryn is the new 9.5, does that mean a Kurt team like this is now less than 9.5? Because this team doesn't win against Bryn teams reliably. Hua, take Lorelei. Tesla and Martin are trash. Shoot. Shoot. Actually, that makes it kind of tricky. That makes it tricky. Do we raise the bar and say Bryn is now like a 9.7? Okay. We'll give Bryn like a 9.6 for now. We'll give Bryn 9.6. Okay, and so we can give Mikuro a 9.5. Bryn suits every single team. Because Kurt teams still dominate anyone without a Kurt. They just lose to someone with a Bryn. That's... Like, going up against a Kurt without a Kurt, unless you've got a super Hodor team, which most people cannot make. Mikuro, so I had this same team. And the only way you can go from here is either you go niche with a Hodor team or you get Bryn. That's it. That is your sole answer. It can't really be 9.5 asterisk because Bryn dominates this team. Yeah, no, I mean, this is a great team. So we'll say Bryn makes it 9.6. And hi, Hayden. Also, Bryn doesn't really need speed. As long as she has a bubble, she's going to gargoyle people. She doesn't need to be max level. She just needs to be, like, good. Or just needs to be usable. Like, not 100 or something. Alright, so we'll give you this, and like I said, you either go niche with a Hodor Chesia, or you go full, you get Bryn, and you replace probably Themis. Arwen or Lorelei? I would make Arwen just for bosses. And Artifact and Rune for Bryn, it actually doesn't matter. Attack Energy works, Attack Ragnarok works, Death Break anything works. One Bryn without Hodor or Kurt, I would still give it like a 9.6. Bryn alone destroys things. She doesn't need teammates, she doesn't need help, she doesn't need the best gear. She on her own, she's just the most broken thing in the game right now, which is kind of sad. And then he asked about Honor second team. I would split off and put Kurt Bale in one. And then put like Themis Bryn on the other. But you need a second Skuld. So you'll have to combine it with Vivienne too. Alex, no. She really starts shining at T3 when she has the bubble. But honestly, she's just good. She's good at all levels. At 5 stars, she's going to be amazing versus other 5 stars. Hey, Blazin. I think the number of situations where Bryn is alone versus a full team is going to be very limited. Viv and Shudmel play late. Vivienne, yes. Shudmel, no. I think you're going to not see too many situations where Bryn is alone. It can happen, and if that's what you want to bank on leaving Bryn as like a solo team keeper, then it's doable, but if you're trying to use her with a whole team, I'm not sure that you would want to do that. Hi, Ryan. Blazin' Taptap days are always more active. All right. So this is... Who is this? This is Andreas. Ryan, the 500 does not does not reset at all. Alright, should Bryn be faster or slower? You gotta try that out. I think... The thing is, Bryn is faster than Skuld almost by... She's one slower than Skuld. It's by teammates. Restream is cut off on the left by 3 characters. Oh, that's because of this. That's because of this. Blazin', so that's the efficient way to play it. That's like the long-term way, the correct way to play it. But if all you want is the skin and nothing else, then spinning 30 is fine. But I don't think that any skin is so important that you need to give up everything else for it. One slower than Skuld with T1 speed. Wait. That doesn't sound right. It should be 11 slower than Skuld. Because Skuld is 1491 and Bryn should be 1450. Okay, so back to Andreas. Bryn's skin is broken, she gets a free skill. Wait, what? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Ryan, the last 2 wheel events have done that, so I'm gonna say yes. Murad, why? I'm not gonna rate a team that isn't in Team Critique. I can't do in-depth team questions out of chat during Team Critique days. Alright, so this team would get a 9... I guess it would still get a 9 point... I really don't like the Freya, but I guess Freya is fine. Bryn is 1420. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Hold on, hold on. That doesn't make sense. Unless Dog's math is wrong. I mean, you have a T4 Bryn max level. She should be 1450. Like, based on everything that I know about the game, she should be 1410 before pet. It doesn't make sense for her to be 1420. Why is 110 more efficient than 30? Because you save 1 token per 10 spins. Meaning, if you spin 11 times with... If you spin 11 times, you save 11 tokens. Whereas, if you spin 30 every week, you only actually save 3 tokens. Because you're spinning on non-wheel weeks. If you're going to spin only if you're going to spin 30 only on the wheel weeks, you might as well save and spin 110. Yeah, Steven, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't think Envision's number is right. Alright, so he says, I can finish Bryn after Eyes next week. Should I focus on Viv or Bryn? Definitely Bryn. 3 star shards. Is this ideal setup for now? Well, Freya can go for Bryn and Lorelei can go for Viv. I feel like I'm being inconsistent here, but I guess we give this a 9.5 anyway. Any team like this has basically even odds against another team like this. Freya or not, it almost doesn't even matter. Bang says, what should my next T4 be? That is a very bad question. That is a very, very bad question. Because I'm just gonna say Bryn. Like, if you ask the most open-ended questions you can ask, the answer is Bryn. Well, if you pull 30 only during wheel weeks, there's... The efficiency is kind of gone, actually. Why is... Well, Bale's not leveled, and Freya... I don't know why Freya's not on this team. I would take Freya and toss Lorelei. At this point. I'm still not pro Freya, but I guess I have to admit it. She's earned her spot back for now. Detlaf or Verthandi, both T3. Wow, that was a bad decision. Verthandi, if you want your team to be longer lasting. Detlaf, if you just want to dominate people early. As far as anniversary has nothing to do with when the new hero comes out. It should be in 6 weeks for the new Hell hero. Should be. Yeah, but Steven, we're also talking about time efficiency. If you're just gonna pull 30 every 3 weeks, then honestly, nobody is that patient. Nobody is that patient. So that's why we're saying, do you go for the skin as fast as possible, or do you play max efficiency? And if max efficiency is 30 every 3 weeks... I'm sorry, you're not really giving anyone any useful advice at that point. So, that's the counterpoint, is that we were basing it on going for the skin as fast as possible. I understand that pulling 30, waiting, 110, waiting, 30, waiting, 110 is fine, but... We're not counting it for maximum wheel efficiency. Because you save more tokens. Oh, no, that's not true either. I don't know. The whole idea is dumb. It takes so long to get anything. Like, why bother thinking that far ahead? Hi, MTG. But spinning 110, I think, is a little bit more efficient than spinning 30, isn't it? Or maybe not. 3 weeks, I think you get like 15 a week. Something like that. You get like, so in 3 weeks you might be able to get 45. It's just really tough because you don't get enough to really take advantage of the wheel. So right, you don't save time, but you get the flags. Wow, Arsha, I don't even know how you ended up with that math. I do not know how you ended up with that math. You can get maximum 3 per week, but that's assuming you started with like 1,000 wheel tokens. And alright, so back to Bang. He said Viv, or what did he say? He said Viv or something else. I lost it. Viv or Skuld. Probably Skuld, because you're almost done with a second honor team. Okay. The best team you can build with 4 basic hero? What does that mean? Bryn. Done. That question doesn't make sense. So I guess then the best is just pull 30, wait 2 weeks, 30, wait 2 weeks, 110, wait 2 weeks, 30, wait 2 weeks, 30. I mean, the goal is, the basic goal is never spin outside wheel week. Nick, if you're going to ask questions like that, I suggest you check out my tier list. Okay. Veg Freya with Bryn and Hodur. That works. I don't know that Hodur alone on this team helps that often. Because who helps Hodur? Bale. And nobody else gives Hodur any help. Like, is just throwing Hodur on a burst team enough? I don't think it's worth it. It's not that he doesn't help, it's just that there's better choices than that. Like, if you're gonna go out of your way to use Hodur, you should at least give him good teammates. Bryn is there for defense. Why does he need Hodur? The thing is, once you've got Bryn, you are on even standing with everybody else with Bryn. And you are better than everybody else without Bryn. So optimizing from that point is an impossible task, except against very specific opponents. Is Hodur good in PvE? Not really. He offers a little bit of defense, but things are so overscaled that surviving their attacks is not the best strategy. It's okay. I mean, he's good on that Bryn team, but I think for anybody that's not using him with a team like Bolds, with Bryn, Arwen, Vivienne, all that, I don't know that you would really just throw him into a PvE team. So Andrew, or Envision, sorry, that's not the point that I'm trying to make. Hodor helps, yes. But you are purposely making a minute step by using him only for defense, when you could be getting so much more out of him. Just by adding an Aegina to the team becomes so much better. So like, why would you use him when you're only using, as Pogi says, half of him? Birdie, the point is that Hodor can do big damage. With the right teammates, his damage is amazing, and because he bypasses defense or damage reduction, he is really good at stopping, not Azathoths, but Kurtz and other defensive heroes like maybe Yig or whoever up has defense reduction. Alright, so back to Trigger. I mean, we'll give you a 9.5. The point is, you can't get better than this without going to Bryn. Aegina is fine if you're using her with Hodor. She's not really good outside of a Hodor team right now. So pay attention to that and note that if you're looking to change this team like that, you're looking at an absolutely serious shakeup. Well, you're not min-maxing at that point. You're minimizing. When you look at min-maxing a team like this with a hero with easy to get heroes like Aegina, Birdie, my Hodor has done really good damage on my other team. Who fits well with Bryn? Literally any hero in the game. I could use Bryn with Gerald and you would still do good. Who would I take out to up Hodor's damage? I would actually consider tossing Azathoth. Or Kurt, even. You could take out Kurt on this team. If you go on the new hero train, is it okay to skip Valk and Phoenix? Yes, but Phoenix is still really nice to have. Phoenix is still very, very nice to have. He's one of the best support heroes for bosses. Alright, moving on. Drogenis, how many people have submitted? I feel like we are going way off track today. This is Rafael Vargas. Can Hodor miss? Yes. That's why you use him with a hit rate rune. Ryan, as long as you've got one strong team, the other team can have anyone. I keep saying it. Anyone. Anyone. Bryn is so good she doesn't need teammates right now. Not yet. Does he really have 40% hit rate? Where does he get 40% hit rate? Hodor does not have any hit rate. What are you talking about? Bryn has like 60% hit rate built in or something like that. Bale helps Hodor, but there are better ways to maximize Hodor's efficiency. Rather than maximizing Hodor himself, you just make the rest of the team more optimal. Did I finish my auto-click? No, I did not. Okay. Okay. How to counter Reaper in PvE? Use Themis to weaken her, or use Detlef to one-shot her. Alright, so back to Rafael Vargas. I mean, this is a 9... I can't even deduct points anymore. Like, it's just all 9.5s. Everything is good at this point. Even though it's a Detlef, he's got Vivienne. He's got Freya. This team is on equal footing against another Kurt team. I know my scoring changes, but because the meta is in flux, I don't think one team necessarily stays the same score across multiple months. By the way, my coworker mentioned that she had a bunch of Red Bull and she doesn't drink it, and she couldn't find anyone to give it to. So I got this much Red Bull for free. So I will be drinking that for a little while. For free. No, and it's a coworker. I'm not like hyping Red Bull or anything. It's just if you happen to see me with a can, that's why. Veg next. Yes, Veg is good. Bryn and Lore 7 copies. That sounds normal. Man, I wish I could be like Daigo. Run over, put a Red Bull right in front of the camera, and leave. No sponsorships for me. Alright. Next is Gabby Took. How many people have submitted? Should I close already? Should I close? I think I can close already. Alright, so this is Finnish Scold and then Yig. Oh god. What? Oh. Okay, I can't take away points for Yig. Hodor with skill damage and hit rate rune, or hit rate and double attack. $27 plus 1. Okay, I can still let people go. This guy did not give me his team, so I don't know what his team order is. But this team struggles. This team really struggles against Detlefs, against Freyas even. And then especially against Kurtz. I feel like this team has a lot of trouble against similar level teams. Vivienne alone is good, but you don't have the damage to get through that kind of burst. I'm going to give this an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I just feel like it's lacking. If this was a Freya, this would be a little bit better. But Aegina at this point is tough. Tough to maximize. And then Yig is just not good. He's not reliable. You're not going to have a good team just because you put on Yig on there. Birdie, you want to maximize hit rate. Considering that he's a cleric with absolutely 0 hit rate, he needs every single % he can get. Alright, so Freya, Lore, and Valk, definitely start looking at Freya. Valkyrie is probably more reliable damage, but Freya's going to help upgrade the team via RNG, which at this point you kind of need. So yeah, this team really struggles with damage. Definitely could use some help. But I just remembered he made me make the team, so we're taking away a point. Pogi, that came out blank. Oh, no, never mind. Now it's a thumbs up. Alright, so this is Sneaky, who gets a 9.5 next. That is not how you spell that. So he says, Moonstones for bail copies? I don't feel like this is the team you want to make. Because you have Hodor Aegina, you could turn around and go Veg, Viv, Hodor, Aegina, Skuld. I don't even know at that point. Kurt, I guess. And this team would be a lot better. It would be a very different team, but it would still be very solid. Aviral, they're about to be closed. I see a T1 Lindbergh, though. Bale is good, but I feel like you've already kind of graduated past him. He's nice, but I don't think he's worth buying 4 copies with in Moonstones. Not anymore. Not anymore when Bryn exists and when Hodor teams exist. Crit damage, rune, or Gaia. If you're gonna use crit damage with Bale, you gotta know who your teammates are. Are you using it with Double Skuld? Are you using it with Kurt? Are you using it with who else ups crit rate? Are you using with Veg to up his crit damage? Are you using Edison? Like the rune alone is not important. Because if you're going to change to a crit setup, you better maximize that crit setup. Draconic Scroll on Hodor. It helps because of the 60% hit rate, but Oracle really is makes him the most reliable as possible. But if you don't have Oracle, Draconic Scroll is amazing on him. Definitely. Okay, so Sneaky gets a 9.5 next. This is Petrus. Okay. If you have neither for Hodor, then you might as well just throw a Soul Torrent or something like that. Yeah, William, the later heroes in the cycle were way better. After a terrible start with Watchmen and Yig, Arwen, Hodor, and Bryn are all really, really strong. Well, who did you buy? Who did you buy? That's right, I don't want to know. If I find the answer to that, I'm just going to be more upset. Okay. So he asks, who do I use instead of Luna and Ultima? It literally doesn't matter. These are fodder spaces. They're you might as well put Ultima in front just to die and raise Verthandi's attack for 3 turns. Well, Ultima's probably going to die anyway. Caleb, the answer to that is single Bryn. Bryn and, I don't know, 4 Viviennes and a Skuld or something. Maybe an Azathoth. God, I really don't want to know who you used for this. Okay, so -1 point for that. So this team would get an 8.5 normally, but we'll drop it to a 7.5 because of bad decisions. But yeah, when you're at this 9-star point, these heroes, these 4 heroes, they literally don't matter. They're a waste of space. or they're just filling up space. You might as well replace them with Heaven and Hell heroes just to raise your aura. Okay. Worth it to convert Verthandi to Bryn? No. Definitely not. Verthandi is so amazing at this point in the game. You are way too early to consider converting people. Way too early. Yeah, Ultima's fine. Khalil is fine. Heaven and Hell Space Wasters are fine. All of that. BRK, if you're going against bosses, you should be using an 88% artifact. I'm using a crit damage rune with an 88 artifact for any boss, and it does fine. $29. Alright, I'm just gonna close. I don't know if I'll get to everybody today anywhere. And somebody is posting right now. Okay, I'll give him a minute. I'll give him a minute to do it. Shiv, you're not just next, but... Alright. Now, Birdie's Themis team did really good, but that's because he paired with Valk, Lore, and I don't remember if he had Vivienne or not, but he had a humongous amount of support. Without that much support, Themis alone is not a carry. So this team is going to struggle. It'll do okay, but it's not going to be really strong. So I'm going to give this an 8. I'll give it an 8.5 because you always have a potential for a comeback, but it's not great. Yig was not a good choice here. Should you make Viv next? Viv is fine. Veg is fine. Kurt is fine. Bryn is fine. Bale is fine. Valk is fine. You didn't have Vivienne? Okay, I kind of thought so. I know you had Valk, Lore, Skuld, Phoenix. Valk, Lore, Skuld, Phoenix, Themis. That's 5. Who was the 6th? Azathoth? No. Could have been Azathoth. I don't remember. But it was a very annoying full support team behind Themis, and it worked way more often than I liked. Good setup for Arwen. If you want to set up for Arwen, double Skuld works out very nicely. Oh, it was Freya. I knew it was a hell. I remembered seeing someone dark. Alright, so yeah. Viv is good, Veg is good. But that's a very open-ended question. Okay, so I'm going to close submissions for now. Hi, Magnet. Okay. Gods, I'm not going to take team questions on team critique days. You had to have submitted on to the Discord for this. I quit AFK Arena months ago. I don't enjoy it anymore. Wait a minute. Azeroth, didn't you submit last time? You actually did not. Alright. Alright. Fair. I hated Abyssal Expedition, and I hated... I got sick of the double dimensionals. Honestly, I got sick of the whole dimensional idea in general, with the whole waiting 40 days to get them. Swapnil, well, 30 people submitted before you, so... even if you submitted, I probably wouldn't have gotten to your team. Wow, this looks like my roster. Of course there's new dimensionals. There's new dimensionals every month and new heroes every 2 weeks. It's not fun to play with that kind of stuff. It's not fun when the meta completely shakes up every 2 weeks. It's... Alright, so I don't like the Yig here. If it works for you, it works for you. Should you return Viv to make Bryn? Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. I'd rather return the Yig to make Bryn. Good lord, what a choice. What a choice. Good lord. Okay, Serio. I have so many questions, and I don't know if I want the answers to them. Like, is this intentional? Is this trying to troll, or is it legitimately he defends with 5 heroes, or like, I can see that he's got a veg here. It's low level, but at least he's got it. And having the veg would be better than not having the veg, because it completes the aura. That's not a small amount of stuff. It's like 15% HP. I mean, he's clearly working on veg for that spot. Well, okay, so Serio has just said he forgot to change his team. Okay, okay, fair, fair, fair. Okay, so do we deduct a point for not submitting the correct team? That's kind of weird. You have copies for Ultima, Vivienne, Phoenix, Wolfrider, Yig, and Verth. Probably Phoenix for Detlaf. But Steven, are you saying that people with Bryn have chances against, or people without Bryn have a legitimate fighting chance against people with Bryn? Because I don't think in most cases that they do. Hi, Goob. Alright, so we'll go based... Alright, whatever. We'll keep your point. You submitted 90%. You submitted 83% of your team. But yeah, Viv for Detlef is a good... Viv or Phoenix for Detlef is a great choice. Detlef really just falls off at this point. So we will give him a... I guess that's a 9.5. We score based on this team? Even if you scored based on this, it's still a 9. Yeah, Pogi, that's not a fair question. Or that's not a fair point. Your Hodor team is very optimized. We're talking about 99.9% of the rest of the people in existence who are just trying to counter it with their generic burst teams and have absolutely no chance. Like a generic Kurt Bale team is just going to get wrecked by it. And it'll probably lose 9 times out of 10. Just because your Hodor team is an answer to it doesn't mean that people are... Not everybody is using Hodor correctly. That's the other thing. For you, Ultima is game-changing. And nobody else can do it the same way. Because... Or they can, but nobody else can make those changes on their own without asking for help. Let's put it that way. Nobody will be able to optimize a Hodor team without asking for help. Enough to the point where it can counter a Bryn team. Whereas, literally anybody that has Bryn takes her to T4, takes her to 300, and goes on a stomping rampage among everybody else that doesn't have Bryn. It was the same thing with Kurt. Just by having him with 0 types of optimization, 0 effort, 0 teammates aside from a tank and Scold, Kurt still dominates people that don't have Kurt. I think you're taking the general populace of Taptap, or you think they're a lot smarter than they actually are. And Team Critique is 90% brain dead. Jedi is probably the only one that came in here. Maybe one other person came in here and said, this is my team and it's underleveled for this reason. Out of, 600 team critiques that I've done, it's between Pogi, Jedi, and maybe 1 or 2 other people. And I've probably done more than 600 team critiques. And I'm just saying that it's brain dead. You level your people to 300 without thinking about it, and then you go and play. And that's perfectly normal. And that also means that you will go and kill 90% of the other people that did the same thing as you but don't have a Bryn. I'm including myself in that burn, if you want. If I didn't ask for help, I would blindly level everyone to 300 and wouldn't think about it. Alright, so we'll give this team... I don't want to give it a 9.5, but I guess I have to. Anyway, so Pogi has like a double Ultima Hodor team. And it's designed to get in front of people and kill them with Hodor's big damage. At some points, it had Hodor Aegina, Skuld, Ultima Verthandi, something, I don't know. There is a... I'm sure it's not the same as that. But there is no caveat to Bryn's strength. The number of people that have optimized a team to the point where they can reliably take out a Bryn is so few that the chances are really high that you won't see a single one on your cluster. Really high. in maybe 6 clusters, you'll find 2 people like that. So why have a caveat when it doesn't apply to most players? Hey, Karma. And the other thing is, if we want to talk brain dead heroes, I need to hype her in the sense that people need to realize that she is so brain dead that she's good in the hands of anybody that pulls for her, regardless of how many copies you have. You need to start building her. Because optimized or not, she's still very strong. And so coming from the layman's point is, if I want to be effective against 99% of people or more, Bryn is the answer at this time. It used to be Kurt. Kurt now has dropped from 99% effectiveness to like 90, 95, and Bryn is taken over the 99%. It's an interesting place to be. I didn't say Bale isn't worth making. I said Bale isn't worth buying 4 copies with Moonstones. That is very, very different. Do you think he should buy 4 copies of Bale with Moonstones? Like, that was his question. He said, I have 900 Moonstones. Should I buy Bale? And I said no. And I will stand by that. At this time, 4 copies of a hero with Moonstones is actually very debilitating with how many energies we need and all of that, and how much closer you could get to T4ing a more important hero. Okay, next will be Shiv, who included his artifacts for some reason. Karma, there are 29 total, and I have done 14 or 13. So there is a maximum of 15 times. Maximum of 15 teams until yours. But probably less. I mean, if you're really, really late game, then you do whatever you have to do, because efficiency takes a backseat to progress at the highest level of play. But for people in this position who are still trying to make their first T4 or finish their second honor team or something like that, that's when that kind of efficiency really comes in, and you can't just go ahead and spend your Moonstones willy-nilly. Hi, Makata. What to do? Your Kurt doesn't do much damage? That is not possible. This is a perfect team for Kurt. This is a perfect team for Kurt. You may want to replace Aegina. Vivienne actually may be better support than Aegina. But for you to say that Kurt does no damage, you either have him set up completely wrong, or like you built him for speed or something. This is not a team where he wants speed or energy. I don't understand how your Kurt wouldn't do damage. Aegina should not be doing damage because she should be dying by like turn 4. You are fighting very weird teams for your Aegina to do more damage than your Kurt in PvP. Very weird teams. Like, Veg, Valk, and Freya and Skuld would have energy. Aegina could or could not, up to you, doesn't really matter. Goes either way. And then Kurt just uses a Ragnarok. I see no way that Kurt doesn't do big damage in this team. How many people have or are close to a T4 Bryn at this time? Oh, it's in the hundreds. It's in the hundreds. There's a lot. And how many are close? Lot of people are close. I think after this Miracle Eyes, you're gonna see like 1 in 5 people that everybody that pulled 3 round of keys, among them, like 1 in 3 will probably have a T4 Bryn. Verthandi makes a team weak to Azathoth? Yes and no. Her healing is not that strong. Yeah, so replace Aegina with Verthandi. You really should see Kurt's damage go crazy. It just doesn't make sense to lose with Kurt. Anyway, this is a 9.5 team. But this goes into actually what I was saying to Andrew before, which is that when you look at a team like this, like he could have an M3 Tears of the Goddess and I wouldn't know. And that would change so much on this team. Like artifacts can take a trash team and do some really crazy things with it. Not that this is a trash team, but still. See, but that's the thing I don't get. He says his Aegina does good damage. That doesn't make sense to me. This is not a team where Aegina thrives. I mean, for all of us that have used an Aegina, this team is asking for Aegina to be dead turn 3, turn 4. It's just asking for that. I don't understand how he's managing to get his Aegina to do damage and not his Kurt. Somebody was asking the same questions in Discord, and it didn't make sense. Like, remember how I said Bryn is brain dead? Kurt is just as brain dead. You put him in, you keep him slower than the rest of the team, you give him an attack rune, he does damage. 0 effort, 0 thought. He does damage. Caleb, there are a lot of interesting ways to play Bryn, but I would say that that's going to be more dependent on the strength of your opponents. Damage suppression from 4 heroes. I still would see this Aegina dead. It still should die very reliably. I mean, if he's only watching the teams where his Kurt stays silenced the whole fight, and ignoring all the fights where his Kurt does, 5 million damage and wipes the entire team. Maybe. Hi, Adarsh. Fraser, it happens more often than you think. Way more often than you think. Part of that is why Double Skulled kind of became a thing, to help Kurt even more. But that was putting all your eggs in one basket, and Kurt, the crowd control magnet, the basket was not big enough for all of that. Oh yeah, swap Skuld and Valkyrie. You want 3 bubbles in the back. And definitely consider taking this Valkyrie into speed with energy. So you want a speed rune, an energy artifact. You can leave T3 as control. And then, like, that should help a lot against Azathoths. Aegina to Lorelei. Like, full support for Kurt is... It works, but it's boring. It's very boring. Alright, moving on. It's a very good team. That's a team that should be holding up punch for punch with other Kurt teams. For now, change Aegina to Verthandi. And change Valkyrie to Speed. Fraser, yes. One of the best teams right now was what? Vivian, Hodor, Bryn, Arwen, Skuld. Who was the sixth? Was it Kurt or Veg? It wasn't Kurt. It was someone else. I can't remember who the sixth was. Adarsh Tiger King is trash. Throw him in the trash. Do not level him. You have Veg, use Veg. I can't remember who the sixth was on that team. But that team has been beating very strong Den and Planet Trial levels. Alright, so this is Hayden. Hayden did not submit a team, so you lose a point. Wow, it's got a drow. You did? I do not see it. I do not see it. You did not submit it this time. Oh well. Next time. Okay. So your team would probably be Verthandi, Yig, Drow. No, Verthandi, Yig, Valk, Skuld, Freya, Drow. It's not that great a team, to be honest. Drow in Peaks is very, very good. She is ridiculously strong in Peaks, but in this La Point, not so good. This team really struggles, I can see. I don't like the Lorelei and I don't like the Drow. He can't convert to Lorelei because he's got a 10-star. He also can't convert to Veg or Arwen because he's built them 6 stars. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Well, if you can convert to Veg, it would help. Like, Veg isn't that hard to get. But then you have 3 tanks, and that's not useful. So I guess I'll suggest you have an option of building Lorelei as a damage build, so like with an attack rune and attack artifact. That would help. You really need damage. So this team, honestly, would struggle a lot. So we'll give it a 7.5, but we lose a point and make it a 6.5. Hoping a T4 Bryn, so are we all. Adarsh, you want to keep your team at similar star levels until about the 9-star range. And then you really need to focus on taking one at a time to T4. I mean, Bryn alone will take this from a 6.5 to a 9.5, so there's your answer. If you have Verthandi and Veg, tank with Verthandi. Did he have veg? Oh, he had veg. Yeah, you may want to put Verthandi front, veg second. Or you can put Valk second and veg back. Kind of depends on if you have a lot of Azathoths that you need to worry about. And Valkyrie is a little bit more reliable with energy than veg. Well, that's not totally true. I mean, Valkyrie will land you the minus 20% attack on everybody 100%, and veg won't. Is it worth building a second veg? Yes. But be careful with that. Pogi doesn't like the idea, but I think it's fine. But you're building it as an honor filler. You're not building it as a primary choice. It's an honor filler. Wow, so H2O just asked the same thing. Should I buy 4 copies of Bale? And I think the answer is no, you should not buy 4 copies of Bale. Which, as we discussed, is because there's much better use for Moonstones now. And also you're working on Bryn, so there is that. Serio, why would you change Kurt's T3? The more important thing is when you use double Kurt, you would like the back one to have an Oracle if you have it. Otherwise, double Kurt is so-so. Not a great choice. I'm not saying don't spend Moonstones on Bale. Be very, very careful with that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't buy 4 copies of Bale with Moonstones. That is 720... No, that's not right. 360. Yeah, 720 Moonstones. That's a lot of Moonstones. That's a lot. Which T3 Kurt skill? You always use the one that gives 50% power. Alright, so H2O, do not buy 4 copies of Bale with Moonstones. And should you replace Freya with a T3 Bryn? You can, as long as the Bryn is max level. I think it would be okay. But if you're going to use a T3 Bryn, you may want to build her for speed. That's actually going to need a lot of optimization because as a forced under level, you're going to have to be very careful about who you are and are not faster than. And I don't have the answer at 280. Bryn in the back shouldn't use energy? Why? See, there's a lot of contingencies for that. A, if you have Bryn in the back, are you not using energy because you expect her to lose her bubble immediately and you want her to attack and gain it back right away? Are you building her for max speed so that she can attack and replenish her bubble right away? Remember, Bryn is fast. She's fast. She's as fast or faster than Yig. And it's very hard to get in front of a full Yig. So be very, very careful how you say that because it depends. The answer is going to be completely different depending on who you're fighting and who the rest of the team is. So the answer is going to be a conditional sometimes. You could also replace Valk. You could also replace Phoenix. Either of those. I feel like the Bryn is going to be good, but may not be a super carry at T3. May not be. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that the potential is high for her not to be, because one of Bryn's really crazy skills is that at T4, her skill has a 50% chance to gargoyle an extra person. That's a big jump. That's very big. Arsha, right now, are we talking about power alone or ease of use or what? Like, what is your criteria for that top 3? Hi, Graydon. Because if we just, like Pogi said, Hodor is way up there, but he's very hard to maximize. He's very, very hard to maximize. And most people are not getting 100% of his usefulness. If Bryn gets lucky with her first skill, she'll live forever. If she doesn't, she'll just die quickly. That's the sad thing. Alright, so this team is a 9.5 next. I'm going to say try out T3 Bryn, but don't expect miracles 100% of the time, just because her T4 is so much better. I mean, she'll still do good things, but if anybody remembers what it was like when Azathoth first came out, T3 Azathoth lived forever, and his Executioner's Call was still amazing, but the difference that his T4 made was night and day. You could still win with a T3 Azathoth, but that T4 was leaps and bounds better than his T3. And I think Bryn maybe at least, maybe not the same level of difference, but pretty big difference between her T3 and her T4. My dream lineup? I don't have one. Hi, Mukul. I don't... Remember, I'm not the one that theory crafts team setups. I kind of look what other people are doing. T3 Azathoth can miss? Yes, that is huge. And also, it doesn't have... it doesn't have the HP damage on it. Those two differences just were night and day for Azathoth. But his damage reduction is still already at maximum, and so he lived forever. But the support to the team from T3 to T4 was just... yeah. Okay, so next is Thande. God, I'm only at 17. Alright, okay, so this is the kind of person that Team Critique helps, which is they haven't optimized, they don't know what's good, and they just want to pick a strong hero and go for it. And this is exactly the kind of person that you recommend Bryn to, rather than Hodor. Okay, so you probably hurt in front here because of his support passive. Valk support or Azathoth? Probably Azathoth. Azathoth supports... Azathoth is offensive support. Valkyrie is defensive support at the highest level. So they don't actually do the same things. So actually there are some situations where Azathoth is better, and some where Valkyrie is better. We really have hit a point where nothing comes in black and white anymore. So it's very dangerous to answer that kind of question. Alright, so... I don't think he... oh, he did. Oh, and he's not using Medusa. Nice. Alright, so this is a really good team. You may or may not want to tank Verthandi instead once Verthandi hits 9, but this is great. You should start picking your first T4. Arwen's good. Ripper is good, Verthondi's good, Veg is okay. All of those are great first T4 options. Pick one and stick with them. Who would I use? It depends on my opponent. If they had someone without bubbles in the backline, I'd use Azathoth all day. If they had full bubbles in the backline and they didn't have Vivienne, I would use Valkyrie. Like, I can't answer that question 100% of the time. I would use whoever fit my team better. Oh my god, Adarsh. Why do you have 6 T3s? Why do you... Oh my god. That team is like a 2 out of 10. Alright, so... I'm going to give this team a 7.5 because I think it's very, very solid for a 9-star team. 8 to 9-star team. I think it's very solid. My least favorite T4? I don't know, Hester? Just because I think she looks dumb. I don't like how her head squeezes. Qua, I have a very bad feeling that you are trying to pigeonhole me into saying something that I don't want to say. And I don't want to answer that. I'm telling you, neither one is better 100% of the time. Yikes. Samurai T4. If you can find his potential, you are welcome to explore it. Nobody has explored that. Hi, Arnell. I'm going to give this team an 8. It's all support and completely reliant. I don't know how these teams are built. Even if Valk and Lore and Freya are all built for damage, it's not enough. Your single target damage is not high. Like a Vivienne will time you out. Adarsh, I don't want to do in-depth team questions on chat on team critique days. If you want to ask specifically what to do with your team as a whole, you either got to come earlier and submit your team online or ask on a different day. Yeah, this team struggles. It just doesn't have good damage. Kurt will be nice when you finish it. Veg would be nice. Veg actually won't help this team too much, but Kurt would really help. Bryn would really help. Bale would help. Can Wolf Rider miss at T4? T1 Bryn is fine. He built her for Awakening event. That's normal. I cannot see T4 Wolf Rider's abilities, actually, so never mind. I was going to go look, but I can't look. I don't know if T4 Wolf Rider can miss or not. Yeah, so Apex, you get an 8. You need damage. You have so much support, you have no damage. Alright, 6 low. I know you submitted last time. Apex submitted last time. Alright, Apex is banned from the next 2. Apex is blocked. And 6 low did submit, but I caught it in time, so I'm just going to skip his team. Next is Political Mayhem. My favorite elf is probably Arwen. Arwen's pretty cool. Why? Best 2 teams for honor. I think people are approaching honor with really the wrong mindset. What you need is one team that can kill almost anybody and a second team that can handle their trash teams. So you max out your one team, you make another team that has as many T4s as possible in your second team, and then your third team is complete trash. That is the only way to play honor at this point. You can't even it out. If you make, let's say you have 20 points, okay? Let's say you have 18 points. If you make a 9, and a 0, somebody that made a 10, a 7, a 10, an 8, and a 0 beats you. 100%. But if you... The point is that if you can't beat his 10 team, then you can't beat him. Actually, it doesn't even matter. The point is, there isn't a best 2 teams. You make one team that can kill anything, and you make another team that can handle all junk teams, and that's the best you can make. At this point, defense and honor is a pipe dream. You can be beaten by everybody. You can be beaten by everybody. There is no way for you to make 2 really strong teams at this point. It's not possible. You don't have 2 Skulls, you don't have Bryn, you don't have 2 Kurts, you don't have any of that. So you build your Veg, Valk, Kurt, Bale, Skuld, Azathoth team. You fill in all the rest on team 2, and you go with that. It doesn't matter what you set. You can be beaten by anybody. Until you have 2 strong teams, you can be beaten by everybody. There is no way around that. There is no way around that. No matter what you do, your second team could have a Kurt, or it could have a Bale, it will have no Skuld, and it will fall to a really good burst team. And so, if they can all beat your second best team, which is going to happen because you can't make 2 strong teams, then they can all beat your trash team, and that's it, you've lost. So defense and honor at this point, don't even try. Just don't even try. I'm really thinking that the best answer for Bryn is either you make your strong team even stronger, or you leave her solo in a troll team and let people think that they can kill your trash team with anything, and then Bryn turns around and wins it. I think that may be one of the best uses for her. Like, so you either go full offense or troll defense. Your call. Which one is better? I don't know. It depends on your cluster. Depends how many people like to hit you. Depends on what they hit you with. Depends how high you relatively rank. Depends how often people like to hit you. Like, I have hit a point where I can no longer answer anything in absolutes. It's not possible. You can't make a good team in honor that nobody can beat. If that's what you're asking, it's physically impossible. If you're asking what the best team is you can set on defense that would scare people off, it doesn't exist. You literally cannot make a team that nobody will hit. And that's why I'm like, what do you want from me? You don't have enough heroes to make the kind of team that nobody will attack. So as far as the best, I mean, once your second team is not a scary full built team, which you can't make, it's the same as nothing. It's the same as nothing at all. Like here, let me. But you can't. The answer is there's no such thing as a best. No matter what you do, your second team will be beatable by everybody. It doesn't matter what you make, your second team isn't going to be strong. That's what I'm saying. And so if it's not going to be strong, why bother putting effort into it? You cannot make a second team that people will look at and go, "Oh, I don't want to fight that." You can't do it. So what's the best team is make a full strong burst team on the first one, throw whatever's left on the second one. That's the best team you can make, period. To make your second team strong is another Skuld. Another Skuld and or a Vivienne. Probably and another Kurt or Bryn. Let me show you what my alt is using. And I'm not going to say it's strong, but this is a sample of what you can build. I basically put Verthandi here as a troll. So I built a super strong burst team. I put whatever's left in the second team and just overflow. The third team is a throwaway. But this is a Verthandi simply because if you approach this team without T4s, it'll beat you. So you can do that and make this team a solo Bryn and troll defense with that. But you look at my first team. Look at this team. This team sucks. It sucks. And this is already about what you can make. This roster is very similar to yours. And this team sucks. It's actually almost exactly the same as yours, except I have a Detlef and a Monkey King. Other than that, it's like almost the same thing as yours. And would you call this a strong honor team? Like this is what you're looking at making, and I wouldn't call this strong. Now, I can put the Bale here, but like I don't try on this team. And if you put the Bale here, then this team is even trashier. So there you go, political. That's the answer. This account never had a Mars. This account is, remember, it's my alt. My point is, you can't make a defensive team. All you can do is make an offensive team, and when you're on offense, it really doesn't matter. You have one team that can handle their second, and one team that can handle their trash. And that's it. You've done. That's all you can do. So, a team like this is about the best you can hope to make. That's it. So, if I didn't have this Detlef, Verthandi would probably be in this team. That's all I can say. So, your best is one strong team and throw away the rest. That's very interesting. We have almost exactly the same heroes. Almost exactly the same heroes. Like, I have Monkey King and and Detlef, but aside from that, the other 11 are the same. Like, look at this. Look at my roster versus his. Aside from the Monkey King and Detlef, we have the same 11. How about that? And I make top 100. What did I make? Like with the setup that I showed you, I placed 40th. But it's not a very active cluster. The more active your cluster is, obviously the harder time you have. Anyway, so that's your answer. Is build whatever you can build. Make one team that can handle almost anything. Alright. Wait a minute. Galaxy Axel. You didn't submit last time? Oh, he didn't. Alright, he's pretty good. Alright, this is Enrico. Great. I like this. I don't like the Medusa, but Medusa at this point... Can Viv replace Scold? Not replace, but she can make a Scoldless team a little bit better. The crowd control clearing is pretty critical. So you can look at my honor team and basically copy it. And mine's not optimized. There's better ways of doing it, but something like that, it's good enough. I was trolling with the Verthandi in the third team even when the first team wasn't complete. Viv plus Bryn, a good combo. Alright, Qua. I don't know how many times I can say this. I really don't. Bryn plus Dirt is a good combo. Okay? That's my answer. I suggest you stop taking so many people to 7 stars because these are pretty useless. Puppet Maid's fodder, Samurai's fodder, Luna's fodder, Tiger King is fodder. Ripper at this point is like, can be fodder. Bryn plus Orphe? Yeah. Orphe won't do anything, but Bryn will still win for you, so yeah, it's a good combo that wins. I mean, that's the definition of a good combo, right? It's a winning team combo. And Bryn carries the team. Orphe dies, Bryn carries you to victory, therefore it's a good combo, right? Isn't that how we define things? Using Mulan, don't use Mulan. Mulan's not good until much later on. You really have to build a sustained team around her dodge before she becomes good. And you're a long way from that. So you may or may not want to fodder her, but you don't want to use her. As far as the power of this team, I think it struggles a little bit with damage. I'm going to give it a 7. Like, Medusa is your highest level hero, and she's not good solo damage. Your big carries are... You don't have a good damage carry. Freya is the lowest level. Detlef sucks at this level. So you don't have reliable damage. So we'll give it a 7. And also, why are you using Edison? This should have been Raphael. This should have been Raphael. Oh well, too late. Once you get Edison to like 160, you probably should consider leveling Raphael. Hi, Breeze. Alright, Galaxy Axle. Galaxy Axle with a very interesting question. Wow, level 100 T4s. 2 of them. What luxury, what a luxurious life you live. Why? You should have just kept everyone else at a lower level so that you could take these to usable level. Why? Like, I'd rather have, like, Saizo at level 250 so that I could take Vivienne to level 250. I'd rather have Phoenix at 280 so that Vivienne could be 260. Why are you so focused on heroes to 300 when you've got this? It doesn't take a significant amount of purple to get to 250. Alright, I'm gonna look. Hold on. Alright. It costs you from 270 to 300 is 250 million purple. To go from 100 with 250 million purple is going to take you to 20, 30, 42, 110, 150, 100... No, wait. 10, 20, 30, 42, 119... 150, 190. It's going to take you to 275. 275. So the purple that it costs you to take a hero from 270 to 300 is the same as from 100 to 275. Think about that. Think about that. That's how bad it is for this to happen. That's how bad a decision it was to do that. And it's not that they are new. He made 2 of them. Each one of these takes 6 weeks to make. He took 6 weeks of purple and deliberately ignored these 2 heroes. In 6 weeks, 42 days at, I don't know, 15. Let's just guess 20 million purple a day. Let's guess 15 million purple a day. 15 times 42 days. That's 600 million purple. That is both of these heroes to 270 plus more. So, no, he is deliberately ignoring them, and I don't think that that's a good idea. You are deliberately, like, leave Aegina at 280. Leave Verthandi at 280. Leave Monkey King at 280. Why is Monkey King 284? The 4 levels for this is the equivalent of like 30 levels for these. Okay, maybe not 30, maybe like 15. Probably more, actually. Probably like 20. So, no, you're deliberately doing this, and I think it's a dumb idea. There is no need to focus on heroes to 300 when, like, if you stop them at 280, you can still take these heroes to 250. So, okay. That aside, Chesia or Mulan? See, that's not true. You can't even lie and tell me that. It takes you 6 weeks to make this. Even if you started from Vivienne 114, it took you 6 weeks to make Lorelei. You earned 600 million purple in the time between making Vivienne and making Lorelei, and you invested 0 into either of them. What did you do with it? You probably took 2 of these heroes to 300. Like, that's such a blatant lie that... What do you want me to do with that? Now, if you're going to say that you overfused your entire inventory and ended up with 2 T4s after overfusing like crazy, now I'm going to ask why your inventory is so full. There's no way you would be back up to full if you destroyed everything you had to make fodder for these. So, try a little bit harder next time. Meanwhile, we'll give the team a 9.5. Mulan or Chesia next? I mean, I can say Mulan. Mulan is going to help you first, but how are you going to level her? You can't even level up your Vivienne. Mulan needs the Vivienne. How do I get 600 million purple in 6 weeks? Maybe it's not that much, huh? What is my idle rate? My idle rate is like... If my idle rate is like 2 million in 8 hours, that means I get about 8 to 9 million just from idling a day. Probably a little bit more. Then you add on top of that anything that you buy from shops. You add to it... Let's say you get 10 million a day. Okay, that's 400 million purple. Let's say 400 million purple. That's still... He threw away 400 million purple. 2 million in 1 day at this rate? I don't believe that. It's higher than that. Your idle point is high. If you auto-click and you're buying at least the 1 million purple in the shop, it's not 2 million a day. It's higher than you think. I don't think 600 million is as unreasonable as you think it is, to be honest. Like, you get a lot more purple. Eight hours, 700k. Auto-clicking gets you almost similar to 8 hours worth. No, like half of is like 2 or 3 hours worth. 500 waves. No, 500 waves is 6 hours worth. That's still 3 million a day. Then you add in your daily events, which gets you how much? Another 500,000 a day minimum, because I know you have the highest level event. So you're looking at 4 million a day from that. Then you look at quests. Wait. There's another 200,000 in daily quests. And you could be getting a little bit less than that. You're looking at least 5 million a day. At least. If you, let's say you get... You probably get more than 5 million a day. That's still 40 days. That is 42 days of 200 million purple. Arsha, I haven't spun yet. Rohit, I'm not talking about buying that one. I'm talking about the 1 million a day. I don't buy the 20 million. I buy the 1 million every day. That's 600,000 purple. Everybody can afford that. And my alt is VIP 5 and it can afford that. Honestly, I think everyone can afford it. As long as you don't drive yourself into absolute brokedom every single day, you can afford 1 million gold. And honestly, I don't understand how you come to that. I'm saying he gets 5 million a day. The 20 million gold is 12 million purple. I'm not counting that. I'm not counting that at all. Is it worth it to AFK for currency tomorrow? Thank you for reading, Ninja Sun. Is it worth it? I'm going to say yes, because it may be... I think we are just at the bar of some people reaching the diamond key for free. Some people will, most people won't, and I think the idol is a good help to potentially make the difference. Anyway, so Axel, that's my point, is there is a gap of at least 200 million purple here between making Vivienne and making Lorelei. And where did you put it? Where did you put it? So I can say build Mulan, but you're not ready to use her. Wow, tanking Skuld, huh? That is a very interesting choice. Alright, Axel. How do you even come by saying this is your second Lorelei? What did you do with your first one? I don't see a Lorelei on this team. It doesn't matter that you converted. The point is that you had the purple to level her and you didn't. All right. So I guess, man, everybody's just getting us. Why even ask for team critiques? Everybody's getting a 9.5. I would probably, once the Bale is T4, replace either probably the Lorelei for Bale. Does Skuld tank really do that good for you? Like, I would rather tank Veg and put Skuld in the back to counter Azathoths. You had a specific question, which is the best team? And the answer is without knowing how well this performs. Like, I would have guessed that Veg tank performs better. But if you are using it this way, there has to be a reason for it. Like, I am assuming that you have a very good reason for setting up your team like this. And I don't know what that is. But if it works for you, I can't argue that because it works for you. Theory doesn't matter as much as, like, practice. So, like, theory says that tanking with Veg is more solid, but if it works better for you the other way around, I don't know what a better team is for you then. I don't know what your opponents are. I don't know why this team is better for you than others. Like, to me, Azathoth eats this team for dinner. But if you're not fighting any, then I guess it's great. Double Skuld is not better here. I mean, this is clearly not team flexing because people are here with these teams and they don't know what they're doing. So how can they flex if they still don't know what to do with their team? Hi, Alvin. It's just I built all these heroes and they do okay for me. How can I get better? Okay. So I mean, potentially, you want to keep as many bubbles as possible in the back. Because Valkyrie or Lorelei, if one of them is built for speed, you only want one of them built for speed and the other for attack. And whoever is built for speed, keep them as support second. And whoever is built for attack, put in the back. And then if you can manage to replace either one of them, then you will want to put more bubbles in the back. And then you will want to have more damage, more bigger damage, and then only like one support. So the ideal change for me for this would be to put Veg, Valk, Kurt, and then Skuld, Freya, Bale in the back. That would be the most basic version of a solid burst plus defense team. That's like the most basic version. It's not the best, it's one that works. It works very solidly. And that's one that I use. Or used. As far as like the best version of it, it's going to depend on your opponents. But like I said, Azathoth takes this team and just puts it in the meat grinder. Like, once he exiles one of these two and you lose their support, they can go through and kind of beat you up a little bit. As Phoenix Azathoth next, Azathoth is a good one. You can really skip Phoenix for now until your PvP is a little bit more stable. Phoenix is a little bit more of a PvE hero rather than PvP. Or he's moving in that direction. Because once you have Veg, you're okay without Phoenix for now. So yeah, make Azathoth next, and after that is when you start needing to look for niche heroes. You start looking to Hodor, you look to Bryn, you look to Themis, a second Kurt, stuff like that. So, like I said, Alex, you're too late this time, sorry. Veg, Valk, Kurt, Skuld, Bale, Freya. That is the team you want to aim for right now. And you're going to want to make this Valk full speed with energy. But in this form, you can make Lore full speed and make Valk damage, either or, whichever version works for you. Either of these can swap back and forth between damage and support really well. Alright. Oh god, am I going to finish? Okay, let's go. Let's try and finish at least what's here. Alright, Diek. Wow, Skuld with skin? Wow. At VIP 0? Holy cow. If he has energy on Skuld and Freya, I bet you, even though Skuld's not the best choice here, his win rate's pretty good. Wow, what a team to have. What a team to have for VIP 0. Okay. I mean, you're in the right direction. You want... he needs 5 yellow skins. And one wheel event gives you 10? Or 15? 10? Can't remember. Is it 10 or 15? I'm going to check real quick. Alright, so you're in the right direction. At this point, you probably just want to tank. Vivienne can actually tank at this point. So you either want Vivienne or Veg would be the most solid choices for your next T4. But wow, what a team. What a team. I'm going to give this an 8.5 because I just know this does good. Like, I can look at this and know. I just know that this is going to do great. Okay, let me see here. So the wheel event... The wheel event gives 10. So he needs 30 wheel events to be able to buy 5 free skins. My god, what a team to have. What a team to have. Alright. Next is gonna be roses. Wow, my mouse. Wow, somebody is saving up artifacts. And somebody did not include their team, so... I can't... What the heck? I can't even deduct points for Azathoth because he was an awakening hero. Wow, these are some interesting choices, though, to make all of these heroes like this. And he was able to finish Themis, but not Azathoth. Is it a 9.5? I guess it's a 9.5. Or 8.5, I mean, because we have no team. What is the team? Themis came before Azathoth, so actually I guess that makes sense. I can't cut points for Drow. All 3 of these heroes... Oops. No, I'm not saying it's a bad choice. And Themis is a fine choice. I can't deduct points for this, because all 3 of these heroes were awakening heroes. So if they were made during the awakening event, it's fine. I can't do anything like that. But you have... Man, you went hard on these heroes without having any support for them. And still not having the copies to finish them. Especially considering we all got free Hodors. But to have, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 10-star fodders. 5 10-star fodders. 5! Okay, we'll change that to 3. Because Mulan is also not fodder. Olivia is not fodder and Mulan is not fodder. Wow. Like, if you have the copies, why don't you just T4 someone right now? The Awakening doesn't stop anything. You already made the 10. Why not just T4 people? You have 1, 2 of these. So you could T4 Arwen right now, and you could take Hodor to T2. If you foddered Watchmen, which you can. If you foddered Watchmen, you could take Hodor straight to T4. Like... Okay, well, Arwen's the best boss hero, so I recommend you make her. Hodor, because you have Aegina and Chesia, can be a very good team. You're gonna have to figure out what to do with this drow. I can't help you there. This is doomed. God, I wish I had 10-star fodders. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Oh god, there's still so many left. Alright, so you get an 8.5 because you didn't give a team. Alright, let's look at Kitty next. Oh, it's so... Lorelei was an interesting choice. Alright, you made Viv is next. Viv is next. Would Valk help that much? Yes, you need damage. Valk would help. Veg would help. Kurt, Bale would help. I mean, at that point you're making Valk because she's good enough to make, not because she's the best. Not because she's the best option for you. Like, it never hurts to make Valkyrie. For someone to be at a point where they like do not want Valkyrie, there are very few people at that point in the game. Alright, so this is an 8.5 team. It's solid. Lorelei is an okay choice as long as she's built for damage in this one. You foddered Freya and Verth and Veg? Well, that just seems crazy. All three of those are so good still. Bryn... I don't think she needs to be nerfed. She actually needs to be fixed. She's not broken in a good way right now. Alright. Let's try and speed up the last, like, 3 or something. Alright, didn't Gyrus... Gyrus submitted last time, so hey, I get to skip him. Karma did not submit. Nope, I only ban him if I actually make a mistake and review it. Because I did not review it, I won't do it. Alright, Karma, can you explain what you mean by 5 of 9 Scold? Because you clearly used 2 here. Are you going to take her to 7 and break her down? Explain that. I could ban Ryu to make up for it. Ryu, it doesn't even come on stream anymore. How can I ban him? Ryu is too busy. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I think it's a good team. But you already laid out what you're doing next, and I feel like you don't need my help for that, because you already know exactly what you're doing. So, I can give this a 9 for now. I know it does fine. I feel like it'll struggle against the top end teams, but it'll do really good against anybody else. Like if they don't have a really strong Kurt team, you'll wreck them. Although I also could see you timing out against a really good defensive team. That one I could also see. See, if Hodor dies early, then you would struggle to have enough damage to get through a very defensive team with like Valk, Viv, something. Valk, Viv, Veg. I could see you struggling with that. Ryu is not around enough for me to ban anymore. It's not fun. I mean, once you get Aegina, Hodor Aegina is high-level combo. That's a given. So in this form, I'll say it's a 9 because it beats most teams, but it struggles with offense and it struggles against high-end burst. But otherwise, I think it's fine. So we'll see it again in its next form, I guess. Instead of banning Ryu, how about we just ban Jack? Yeah, we can ban Jack. Alright, what the heck, man? 9.5 next. Alright, what is he asking? What should I focus on next? Finish Azathoth? Make Bale, make Bryn, make another Skuld for honor. There's a few options. All of those I think are fine. So Azza, Themis, Skuld, Bryn, another Kurt, Bale, whatever you've got. I don't know what you've got. Oh, no team. No. That's not true. He sent me his team. How dare you make me doubt myself? Alright, 9.5 next. My brain is not in the most functioning form right now. I'm very tired from work every day, so... okay, I think I've held up pretty good today, though. Wait, this is just karma again. But with a... Detlef instead of a... Wait, but Vivienne is T3... Second lore or first veg, make veg. He bought a hero from Moonstone Shop? How do you know that? But he also bought an artifact. They're both gone. Or were you talking about Ray? Ray bought a hero! Ray bought a hero. Ray loses a point. Ray loses a point. Convert Drow and Shud? Yes. Quick answer, yes. Long answer, yes. Ban Karma and Retribution. See, it's not as fun to ban Karma, because he's kind of like halfway ready to quit as it is. Like, you gotta ban the people that still enjoy the game. Not those that are already getting salty about it. Ban me. I guess that's fair. It honestly doesn't matter what hero he bought. It wasn't a good choice. There's no way he wailed enough to have like 30 Tears of the Goddess and not need Star Shards anymore. Alright, so Aviral, you get... Yeah, we can give this a 9 too. This is fine. It's a solid team at this point. Is Peaks on stream? Oh god, please no. I hate Peaks so much. If I have nothing to do tomorrow, I'll play some, but I hate it. Alright, hold on. Let me go back to DX team. Energy on Skuld Freya, Ragnarok on Det. Then you might as well put the Gaia Bulga on... Veg? You don't really need it. Because you'd want energy on all these three. So leave the Gaia Bulga aside for now. You don't need it right now. You can put it on Veg if you want, because he's not primary tank and he's not freezing fast. He's not fast enough to freeze people yet, but it's not really an issue. All right. Okay, newbie asked, waiting for Vivienne last copy. Wow, you made a 10-star Freya fodder at this point in the game? Wow, that is some conviction. That is some conviction. Wow, okay, wow. Who should be next T4? 2 veg, no other hero. I mean, I can't really tell you who to make your next T4 because it's going to depend on who you got copies of. I mean, I can tell you you want Kurt, you want Skuld, you want Azza, you want Veg, you want Lore, you want Valkyrie, you want Hodor. Hodor is a mediocre choice at this point. Like, all of those choices are good. You gotta go with what you got rather than what you want. You do not have the luxury of choice at this time. It's not wrong. It's just an interesting choice that you would ignore fodder in all the other factions that are much easier to get. Rather than... Because Heaven and Hell fodder isn't that common this early on. Not enough to make 10 stars easily. Holy cow. Valkyrie from the box, I would not. Hodor and Arwen are just way too much better. Both of those heroes are just so much better than... they're so much more valuable in what they do. But the other thing is, you shouldn't take a hero until you can make them T4. Taking your Valkyrie to T3 and getting stuck there for a long time, waste of effort. It's a waste of effort. Focus on heroes that you can get to T4. Ha, you do. What? Why do you have this? What did you do with this? Did you make 2 Viviennes and return one? Aviral, I wouldn't use Moonstones on Valkyrie. Maybe on... Well, Hodor's not in the shop yet, right? Is he? I think he is, actually. Arwen is. So that means Hodor must be. Just wait until you can get someone to T4. Not Arwen, though. Arwen you don't want to T4 just yet. She's expensive and rare, but you can't use her at T4 just yet. Take Hodor if he's next. I guess you can take... I guess you can take Valkyrie. It's not the best choice, but really only do it if you can get to T4. Hodor's not there yet? Alright, alright. That's weird. Why is Arwen in there and Hodor is not? Okay, well, we got through 30 people, maybe 28 people today. Yeah, worry about it when you get closer to 9 copies. This is the one advice we always give at all times, is don't splurge or don't focus heavily on getting a copy of a hero if it's not going to get you a T4 or very close to a T4. Saying I only need 2 more is a death wish. It really is. Hodor came after Arwen? Oh yeah, he did, huh? I had it mixed up. For some reason I thought Hodor came first. Okay, my bad. Alright. You returned a 10-star... Oh my god. It's not completely wrong. If you didn't have copies of the Valkyrie, it was... If he didn't have copies of Valkyrie, there's nothing else he could do. I think it's fine. It means that he was mistaken in making the 10-star Valkyrie in the first place. But, you know, who knows who you're going to have to build at the 10-star level or not. So it's fine. It's fine. The music died. So I guess that's that. Alright, I'm going to call it here for tonight. Oh, Restream died? Oh yeah, Restream died. Why did Restream die? What the hell? Restream crashed. Okay, Restream crashed. I don't know what happened. Alright, Bryn T3. I'm thinking that Bryn T3 may be equivalent to lesser T4s, but may not have a full position in a PvP team just yet. This chat died. Alright, that'll be all for me tonight. Thanks, guys, for watching. I know we're not doing as many teams as usual lately, and it looks like my internet is dying, so that will be my key to go. So, take it easy. See you guys next time.